restructured debt on behalf of portfolio companies. Back to you, Tom.
Lisa, thanks so much. Ruth Grover Norquist, email magnet. You're getting a ton of email here. I mean, they're just flying in. Mark from New Jersey says you quoted the economist Wimpy from Popeye. Hamburger today, you know, hamburger tomorrow, and all that. It's the first time we've quoted that economist on the show ever. And, you know, you look at the debate in Washington. What did you think of the dance that we had over the last 10 days?
Well, look, the two...
Shutdown averted.
Yeah. Well, people talk about a compromise, but here's the challenge. The Republicans want less spending. Obama wants more. What's the compromise? The Republicans got $40 billion than was scheduled, about $90 billion less than Obama wanted. So Obama lost, but not by much.
Somebody had a bar chart. These are tiny, tiny amounts compared to what Pete Peterson's focused on.
And that's why we shift now from the small numbers we're talking about, which is finishing. This is the 2011 budget we're finishing up. The Democrats never passed one in the House and the Senate in the last year. That's why we're still doing continuing resolutions, because they didn't want to pass a budget prior to the last 2010 election. Now we move from the billion category to the trillion category. That's what Paul Ryan does.
Alana Shore with a nice article. It says column there, but she reported this out for the New York Times. This is Senator Coburn's quote to Ms. Shore. Big-time conservative squabble over ethanol. Ethanol subsidies are a spending program placed in the tax code that increases the burden of government, keeps tax rates artificially high, and forces consumers to pay for more food and energy. And the senator from Oklahoma thinks Grover Norquist is nuts.
Well,
why do you support the ethanol program?
Okay, I don't. Let me put it politely. Senator's lying. We have, at Americans for Tax Reform, we have always supported abolishing the ethanol tax credits, the entire ethanol project, before it ever happened, before Coburn could spell it. What Coburn wants to do is get rid of the tax credit on ethanol and spend that money. And my argument is get rid of it and cut taxes by an equal amount.
So
the argument between Coburn and me is he wants higher taxes and I don't want higher taxes. We both disagree with ethanol. But his goal is not to get rid of the ethanol credit. That's $6 billion in 2 years. He's on record in favor of $1 trillion of tax increases by doing this to your home mortgage interest and others.
I got like 8 questions here. Let me go to Orzag. Peter Orzag, who's a very bright guy, talks about glide paths of change. We need glide paths, difference to smooth this out, to fix it like you want it fixed, but over time. Are you looking for a jump condition right now? Wouldn't that diminish GDP and cost us jobs if we had a jump condition to Norquist Nirvana? I like that. Norquist Nirvana, not bad.
Actually, I would look at Paul Ryan's legislation and encourage everyone to take a look at his budget. That is exactly a glide path. It doesn't balance in the first 10 years. It's more of a glide path than ideologues would like, but it moves us in the right direction in reducing spending as a percentage of the economy every year out for the next 50 years. It is a glide path. It's not do it all tomorrow. All efforts to do it tomorrow just lead to crash and burn.
20 seconds, pay-go. Where did pay-go go?
Well, the Republican position is we're not raising taxes. If you want to increase spending, you got to cut spending somewhere else. So we have pay-go, but it's on the spending side, not tax increases.
Okay. Let's leave it there. Grover Norquist, thank you so much. Great to come in. Always controversial. Here's his book, Leave Us Alone.
Oh, great.
Grover Norquist. There it is, getting the government's hands out of your money. Read this. Leave this alone. Leave us alone and read this. I love this. California's Tax Machine. This gets a rave review, a history of taxing and spending. They always do it better than anybody else. California's Tax Machine. David Dorr. We're going to come back. Surveillance Midday. You get great mail. Great mail. Good. Great mail.